Drama Therapy, a play adapted for radio. Written and edited by Christopher McNeil. Performed by Olivia Woods and Christopher McNeil. A production for the UMass Lowell BLA Capstone.
Okay, alright. I made it. I'm a little late, but I made it. I don't think anybody saw me, but just to be on the safe side. Good morning, Mabel. How are you this fine, fresh day? How are the kids? How is that husband of yours? Any more Girl Scout cookies to purchase to help that darling daughter? You know, I was just thinking how long it's been since you've been on vacation with the family and how little time you get. So I thought I would suggest to the union more vacation hours so you could go to...
I won't tell anyone you were late, sir.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank you.
Extra box of donuts tomorrow and a nice coffee. Hold the caramel this time. Doctor says I should watch my sugar intake.
Done and done.
And for the record, my husband's name is Thomas. By the way, your first patient is here. Should I send them in?
Yes. Oh, please. Send in,
Nobody.
Oh. So, nobody is here then? Oh, shame.
No, sir. Somebody is here.
Oh, wonderful. Who is it?
Nobody, sir.
Is there somebody here for their appointment? Yes or no?
Yes.
Great. Who?
Nobody.
It is too early for mind games, Mabel. Now, please tell me when we have a patient ready to be seen.
All right, sir. Sir, your patient has arrived and is ready to see you.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir. Nobody is here and waiting to be sent in.
Mabel, I swear to all that
At least that's what it says here on their file.
I understand. Please go ahead and send in Odysseus. Sup, bro? What have we talked about? I shouldn't hide my identity. It perpetuates the trust issues that I possess, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know, bro, but who's to say someone won't use it against me? I have to keep close to the vest, dude. This is something we were exploring last time. You seem to have problems with trust, and you tend to trick those close to you as a way to test them and subsequently their loyalty. Why do you think you need to? Well, who's to say that they haven't turned on me? I need to know that they still got my back. I mean, I was gone for like 20 years. Yes, war. You and your crew... My best bros! Indeed, you and your best bros took off during your emerging adulthood phase, which is about 19 to 21, and pretty much left your lives behind. Were you scared to leave? Scared? Bro! We were the heroes off to defend the city. We had no time to be scared. We had a job to do. And we did it! We did a stellar job, might I add. I see. Let's move on. You took off readily enough, as you told me in our prior sessions, leaving your wife and child. Yeah, it was a bummer. But a man has his duties, dude. Understood. But when you came back from the war, what happened? Well, you see, I sort of thought that I didn't need to honor the gods for our good fortune, so I kind of gave the middle finger, so to speak, to Bro Sidon, who's totally cool with me now, BT Dubs. Best bros. We meet for canasta every week. Very chill dude. Gets a bum rap, but, yeah, I didn't show him props, so he effed our trip and sent us somewhere else. Met a Cyclops, talked with dead folks, met Cersei, and I spent like a year there. But like, so my men could recoup and stuff. And then we ran into Charybdis. Not a bro. Bro, like not even bro adjacent. I was told to stay away by Circe, but it was all like, what? A giant monster that I can't fight? Screw that. Odysseus never backs down from a challenge. But I promised I wouldn't. But then, Charib dissed me as I went by, and I just lost my cool. Said something about our moms and how weak we were, and I went over to pound its ass, but it got my man, and I lost my ship, and crashed onto Calypso's island. She held me captive for, literally 50 more years, dude. It was effed.
Aren't you only 42?
Not literally, dude. Come on. I was being facetious.
Gotcha. Let's rewind to the two women you mentioned, Circe and Calypso. How would you describe your experience with them? Negative? Positive?
Oh, man. I was so miserable with them both. All I could do to keep living was think of my wife back home.
Good.
Yeah, man. My heart was breaking every time I banged one of them.
Oh, so you slept with the two women. How did it make you feel?
Awful! I hated every minute living with those two. I mean, the sex was great, but it wasn't my idea. Those babes were so into me and wouldn't let me live if I didn't. It was a matter of life and death, dude.
I see. You know, I'm starting to see a formation of something here. Follow me on this. You marry, and you have a kid. You go off alone, you meet other women, you bed them multiple times, and then return in disguise to test the loyalty of your wife, child, servants, to see if they were still faithful to you. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
No. That's all right. You see, in psychology, we believe in something called projection, in which one does something they feel is wrong and so suspect others of capable of doing the same. Political parties and tyrants are known for this a lot when they accuse their opponents of committing the crime they themselves have committed. It comes from a deep sense that if one can do that thing, then anyone can. No one should be above doing said thing.
Do elaborate. I am engrossed by the phenomena to which you refer and desire to absorb further.
Yes. This also occurs in relationships. Someone will cheat emotionally, physically, even have a thought to do so. And gradually they develop a distrust for their spouse or partner. They begin to check their phone or bag when they leave the room, suspecting that they are doing what the person in question is actually doing. I suspect that perhaps your infidelity, as necessary as you say it was, may have caused you to project upon your loved ones. You betrayed their trust without their knowledge, but still, you now fear they may do the same to you. One half of the relationship has been broken by your hand, in your opinion, and now you are terrified that they will break that other half. You need these relationships to persevere, and so you strive to keep everyone in check to ensure that it doesn't shatter any further.
Whoa.
It is merely a supposition, but I think it may be a foot in the door. I want you to try sitting down with your loved ones. It will be hard, but I want you to tell them of your tale in full, and then when the air has settled, explain to them how sorry you are and how you regret your actions. Tell them how much you miss them. It may have been for survival. It may have been for pleasure while you were away. Either way, it was in the past, and you plan to not revert back to your old self. You've changed. You've grown. If you find telling them out loud is too hard, you can even just write a letter, but you need to be there in person when they receive it. You need to ensure you and they get the closure you require to move on. Try this if you can, and then we'll discuss the results when you return next time. Sound good?
What if they don't forgive me, bro?
That's the fear talking.
Don't worry about that until after you do this. Give them more credit. Trust them to forgive you. But first, I need you to do something.
What?
I want you to close your eyes. There you go. Close your eyes. Keep them closed, Odysseus. Close them and just forgive yourself. Say it. Say, I forgive myself. You can do this. Dig deep. It's difficult, but you're brave Odysseus, right? Epic Odysseus. You can do anything. You can do this.
Hey,
You got this, bro.
I forgive myself.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, bro. Can I have a tissue?
Of course you can. You earned it. Do you want to stop for today or keep going?
Fearless Odysseus backs down for nothing. I'm ready.
Then let's continue on.
Your next session is here, sir? Mr. of Denmark?
Is he carrying around a skull?
Yes, sir. It looks fresh, too. It's covered with dirt.
Oh dear, he's relapsed. Send him in, quick. Hamlet, how are we doing? Tell me, what's your problem this time?
Words.
Words. I just cannot seem to grasp the upper hand in words with friends. Last poor Yorick, I knew him well, Horatio, and his various strategies with a common English tongue. I could get a triple word score on the blackguard with nary a sweat. Lack is perished, and with him my high standing in the roster. Hamlet, you don't come to see me once a month to talk about mobile games. Put your phone down and let's discuss where we were last time. Hang on, I have to check Instagram. Oh, would you look at this? Mine own mother and uncle cavorting with selfies of the most degrading nature. His every grin and smile boils my blood. Hamlet, Nahapi herself has taken to change her relationship status on the Facebook. No longer a widow. Bah! How I yearn for a dislike button to air my grievances against them. Hamlet, not to mention, here, the blasted couple have dared to create some sort of Snapchat group that I was ordered to, and now I cannot go 1 minute without seeing their damned faces filtered through a ruddy lens of clownery. Look here, my uncle has a dog. How very fitting. Hamlet, I have concocted a most devious scheme, though. I have created a Twitter profile and invited all to attend, wherein I have taken to tweeting gibberish and nonsense to appear stricken with malaise. It will rend my enemies with a false sense of security while I plan their untimely downfalls. Here is one I wrote not but a fortnight ago. I am but mad. Northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw. Many a folks were perplexed by this posting, to say the least. Mine own Ophelia even replied with a confused thinky emoji. My facade was and is still successful. I have an idea. Words with friends. Let's have a round. You and me. Since you can't seem to put your phone down, maybe we can use it to have a productive session via word association. Nah! A potential rival worthy of my attributes. How about the name? Okay, just signing in and... There! Alright. Your move. Know and tremble at my hold on your king's language. Hamlet, I'm seeing that you're using very pointed words on your turns. Uncle, spirit, double words go with triple letter. Deception, traitor, and wow, oxyphenbutazone. Look, obviously you're still showing signs that you're not over your father's death, but this isn't healthy for you. You need to let out your emotions instead of concocting conspiracy theories about your uncle and mother. But the apparition I saw! I am not trying to discount your experiences, but I need you to understand that running around pretending to be crazy and scheming to, quote, catch your uncle's conscience, unquote, is not the route to go. You are not a detective. If you truly suspect your uncle of wrongdoing, inform the law and have them conduct a secure investigation. If there's any evidence of foul play, they'll find it and arrest whomever they deem responsible.
My uncle!
Or otherwise. I suppose allowing the constabulary to handle such proceedings would prove harmless. Mayhaps I would even be permitted to aid in the venture. Yes, good. Do whatever you can to deviate from this social media craze you cling to. It's not healthy. Try disabling those apps if you can. They are not good for you or your mental health. I'd even say you've gotten worse in terms of your obsessiveness. My apologies, I wasn't listening. I was looking at this amusing gif I stumbled upon. Here, the corgi howls in the most deceptively quiet manner. It is so adorable. I think our time is up. Thankfully. And with that, I will bid thee adieu. Schedule with Mabel for your next appointment, and please try to decrease your screen time, and don't show up with your phone next time we talk. We will talk about your feelings and emotions. Any questions before we end? Just one. Should I purchase the $49.99 Ghost Tracker or the $59.99 Ghost Tracker? The second is more, but it comes with a sniper scope and built-in microphone. If it's only $10 extra, then it's better to ensure you get a higher quality product, plus the price will make it eligible for free shipping and handling, if I'm not mistaken.
I thank thee.
Mabel, we need to change the Wi-Fi password again. And can you look into buying a cellular jamming device? Thank you.
The cast of cats is here for this session, sir.
The entire cast? Well, hope they don't try to pay me in catnip. Catnip? Mabel? Huh? Get it? Hope they don't pay me in catnip? Mabel? Get it? Catnip?
Do you want to owe me lunch on top of breakfast?
I'll stop. You may send them in now.
Uh-huh.
No, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, stay away from there. Hey, no, let's all gather around. Please sit in the chairs. Please, no, get down from there. Please get down from there. No. Hey. That's a very breakable, come on. You seem to be old and wise in your ways. Maybe you could, oh, come on. What are you doing? No. I'm in the calm forest. Come on. Okay. All right. No, not that one. Not that one. Come on. Everybody, can we please just get... What are you doing? Oh, no, that's a very expensive rug. No, that's a very expensive rug. Do not do what I think you're doing. No. Oh, no. Thank you. We'll see you next month. Bye. 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 Shoo!
Shall I send for the janitor, sir?
Please. You'll have to tip him big for this one.
Shouldn't be too hard with the cat's bill here. They even paid up front.
Really? Well, what they pay with? Cash or check?
Catnip. Sir, a Mr. Eliza Doolittle is here.
I can announce myself, I can. Eliza Doolittle, Your Honour. So, here's my problem. There I was, minding me own, selling me flowers on the old square, when this proper gent starts wanking about how most folks got no grasping of the regular talkings like, and then sodden bugger dares to go and use me as his shining example. He starts taking a bet with some of the other gents, saying he could make anybody speak all proper like in just 6 months. Well, insulted as I was, me mum never raised no git, so I rang up the gent from the prior night, and it turns out he's a professor. Professor Henry Higgins. So I says to him, I says, I'm gonna be on that wager there. All my life I've been under my own dad's thumb, I have. Well, wouldn't you know, but me dad, drops by and sells me away to the professor. Just like that. So, with no family left, I stays with the professor, and he has me go through all sorts of bloomin' exercises until one night, me all full tuckered, I start speaking right proper. Next thing I know, Higgins brings me to the track. I owe me owns amongst the proper folk with 1 or 2 slips, and gets me a bloke who starts asking after me. Well, if I won't right blushing then. Says his name is Freddie, it is. Catches him walking up and down our street, I do. And a few weeks later, the professor takes me to a fancy party. Has me dance and mingle with the upper crust. Some duchess comes out, looks at me, gives me a nod, wink, and then buggers off. So after that, we head back to the flat, champagne is popped, and the two gents start congratulating each other. But do you think any credit is given to old Eliza? Not a chance. So I packs me things and pop off to God knows. Then I sees Freddie sitting outside my door telling me he loves me. Well, I'm in no mood, I am not. I tells him to stop being a ninny, but he just doesn't get it. Up an old lift to old Higgins' mum. Nice bird she was, sent me right with a room and everything. Well, a few days later, Higgins stops by, he finds me at his mum's, and I start getting yelled at, because I dare to show a little dismay for not being thanked, doing all the hard work and all. Finally, he goes. His mum and I laugh about how spoiled rotten he is. Tell her how I have no idea whether to go with Freddie or to stay on Higgins, so she gives me some addresses, including this one, to get some help. I would have tried the others, and they were rot useless bastards, so I guess it's all on you. So, what do you think?
I'm sorry, I caught none of that. Would you start from the top?
Ow! Not you too! All right, then. As I stated, my name is Eliza Doolittle. I was a gutter snipe selling flowers in the streets when one night a man by the name of Henry Higgins, a professor by trade, remarked that he could refine anyone's dialect and use me as an example. I took this as a sign and called upon him at his abode. He took me in, and after my father sold me into his care, he had me perform various exercises that were torturous, to say the least. I was doing one particularly tedious one when, much to my surprise and his, I began to talk entirely properly, such as you can see here. He brought me to the horse track, where I upheld my facade quite well until I had a tiny slip. I also caught the eye of a young Freddie there, who proceeded to traverse our streets, as I would notice. After the test of the track, I was brought to a gala, whereupon I successfully fooled everyone, including the Duchess, who hosted. But when we returned to the Higgins' abode to celebrate, I was given no thanks or credit, which saddened me to the very core. I decided to leave and ran into Freddie. He professed his love for me, but his innocent manners and naive charm only went so far for me, so I rebuffed him. I visited Higgins' mother, and she took me in. I stayed there a few nights until Higgins came and saw where I had gone. We had an awful tiff, and he scolded me for being ungrateful, wherein I gave him it right back. He stormed off. His mother and I shared a lark at his expense, commenting on how spoiled and abrasive he is, and then she gave me some addresses, including yours, to seek guidance about whom to choose, Freddie or Henry. I exhausted all other counsel, and you are the only one left. So, can you help me or not, or are you just as useless as the rest of them?
Oh! Okay, I get it now. Yeah, this is simple. Okay, Liza, what do you want? You go on about what you should do about Freddie and Higgins. Which do you go for? Which do you leave? My question to you is, why either of them? You don't seem to find either one that desirable. Rather, you seem to think that you have to pick one because that's what's expected of you. From what I'm hearing, you've had a pretty rough time of patriarchal authorities after another, creating a sort of learned dependence, meaning that you've come to rely on the men in your life because they taught you to do so. Perhaps, instead of wondering what they want, you need to figure out what you, Eliza, want. Travel? Business? Any hobbies you may have? Any of those are valid ventures, and you have the means and wherewithal to get them. You're smart, savvy, articulate, when you want to be, and there's no doubt you'll go far if you try.
Caw, you saying you fancy me, Your Honor? Blimey, have you no shame?
No, Eliza, I'm trying to say that you show great strength and resolve, and you don't have to choose either man. You have been given a gift of duality, but it is also a curse, which you need to reconcile. I would suggest finding out who Eliza Doolittle is first, before even thinking about getting into an intimate relationship.
Mental? Eliza Doolittle is me!
Yes, Eliza, thank you for clearing that up. Let's try this. You don't need Freddie or Higgins. You are a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. Instead, go do or see what you like. Your job is to go out this week and do something you've always wanted. Doesn't matter what, but you need to do it and then jot down what happened and how you felt. The more detail, the better. Do that, and we'll discuss further instructions going forward at your next appointment.
What cheers, Your Honor? I think I can.
Wonderful. I hope this helped.
You kidding? You the dog's bollocks you is. Ta love.
I'll just take that as a thank you.
Edith is here to see you, sir.
Oh, good. Send him right in. Hail, gang! Just kidding. How are you doing, Eddie?
Not well, actually.
Oh? But you were doing so well last time we talked. Did something happen since then? I see. Well, why don't you start from the beginning, whenever you're ready, that is.
It is very difficult to say.
Take your time. Remember that this is a safe space. No judgment.
The prophecy came true.
Eddie, no! Oh, I am so sorry! Was it via a trance or mistaken identity? I thought you vowed never to go back home to avoid all that.
It was not so simple as that. The man who raised me did die, as I was told, but not by my hand.
Then how did you...
But that man, it turns out, was not my father. My father was King Laish.
No!
I speak truth. I will reveal all. I was born to King Laish and his wife. My mother, when they were told that Laish would be killed by his son. Me. I am his son. Not the couple back home. Not the two people who were given me by a caring, defiant servant after he was told to take me out and drown me to avoid such a fate. They ordered my death. They would have had me slain. That nobleman I defended myself from, that was him. I confirmed this from from Mother. The descriptions of Laish matched the descriptions of the nobleman I slayed upon the crossroads. I was so bloody blind.
I am so sorry, Eddie. What does this mean for you and Joe?
You think I told her? I could not even look at her upon my epiphany. I stopped myself from screaming it to the heavens in an attempt to purge it from my very soul that I might find any semblance of peace again. I killed Laish. I killed my father.
I killed him and usurped his throne. I killed him and married his widow. I married Jocasta. I have sired children with...
Eddie, do you mind if I speak to all this?
Please, I have come to you for any word of advice. I know not what to do from here. I fear that if I tell anyone, I will lose my power, my family, my love.
While what you have described is unfortunate, and the implications are dire and horrible, I think, and hear me out here, I think that you can salvage this, and that, for all intents and purposes, nothing has changed.
Surely you jest! How could something like this be salvaged? How has nothing changed?
Answer me this. What is a mother? For that matter, what is a father? Scratch all of that. What is a parent?
I fail to see what this has to do with anything.
Those folks who raised you, those people that took in a scared child, gave him a home and food, and taught him to be the man he is today, those are your true parents, Eddie. It doesn't matter who caused your birth. The true parent is the one who treats you as they have treated you, with kindness and care and unconditional love. Does knowing you're adopted change any of that? Do you no longer care for them? I mean, you left them in an effort to save them from a terrible fate because you cared that much.
It's true. I still adore and love them. The only reason I smiled at Father's death was that it was not by my own hand, as I thought was foretold.
Exactly. Jocasta is not your mother. Not emotionally, nor mentally. She didn't raise you. She never even met you. You were separated at birth upon that oracle. She never imprinted on you. You never imprinted on her. But you did on your real mother. You did on your real father.
You oddly make sense. But what of my family? What of Jocasta and I?
This is a tough one, but I'll try to tackle it. I am normally not one to condone any type of incestual relationship. It leads to much drama, especially when it comes to children. SS is called in, people go to jail, the family is torn apart. It never ends well for anybody. But you are not a child, and neither of you willingly entered into such a relationship. Did you? You were both consenting adults when you got together, yes? Barring the information you know now, going only off of pure emotion and what you've shared before all this came to light, do you still love Jocasta?
It makes my blood rot and so sink, but yes, I still love her. She has been nothing but good to me and our children. She has comforted me in times of woe, and she has been a most respected partner of mine.
Okay. And it sounds like from what you just said, she loves you just as much. Not many people would be so supportive and loving, would they?
I suppose not.
And your kids? Are they disfigured? Monsters that torture small animals and need to be locked away from the world?
Certainly not. They are perfect angels who would not even harm a mayfly. They are my prides and joys.
So, you still love your wife? And still love your kids? You are still the rightful king having been crowned, but also because your sperm donor, the king, is dead and you, the only heir, have earned the throne in his stead. What has changed?
You are a magician with words, fair counselor. I suppose nothing has.
There you go then, Eddie. While this is extremely unorthodox, the underlying issue is a common problem with most people. Your parents are different from mother and father. It takes many people a long time, if they realize it at all, that a dad and mom and father and mother are completely different. One raises you, supports you, wants what is best for you, and the other donates DNA. And that's it. Sometimes they're in your life, other times they leave, sometimes even before the birth. It is who we are guided by, not who we come from, that makes us who we are. You ever watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
I have been meaning to, actually.
Watch it. You'll get what I'm talking about. In the meantime, my advice is to keep this all mum. Jocasta doesn't have to know and can continue to live blissfully unaware. She will continue to be your partner, and you can continue to support and love each other. Forgive her for her foolishness as a young mother. She's grown and matured since then, and is no longer the woman she was. Do your best to look at her with the same eyes you had when you first saw her. See her as the wife and partner you know. If you feel like you need to tell her, that's your call. But assure her what I assured you. Nothing has changed. Remind her that you will still love her, and you are still the husband she has come to love.
That will be difficult, but I will try.
As for your kids and subjects, they don't need to know either. This can be just between you and Jocasta, or just you and the gods, whatever you decide. And should any of it get out,
Zeus forbid!
There's no need to get excited. If it does, then you can just dismiss it. Call it just another political scandal. They happen all the time. Usually when the news is slow, it's their word against yours.
It could work.
I hope it does. You are a fine king, Eddie, and a good person, and you deserve to live a good life. It would not be fair to suffer for the sins of the past. I'm glad you came to me, and I'm glad you felt comfortable enough to share this all. I hope it works out. Now, if you don't have anything else, we can call it early. You do have a family to get back to.
1,000 thanks. Fare thee well.
Need a cold shower.
Your next session is in, sir. Oh, and they brought snacks.
Oh, how very kind of them. What did they bring? Cookies? Brownies? Oh, cake?
They appear to be pies. Oh, they smell wonderful.
Oh, could you have them bring in a blueberry slice for me? Lunch was a little light today.
First of all, after that stunt this morning, I think you owe me all your shares of snacks from here to next week. Secondly, they're not fruit pies. They're meat pies.
Oh. Oh, Mabel, put it down. Put it down now.
Why? So you can have them all to yourself? I don't think so.
Trust me. Just smile and tell her that we appreciate it and she can come in now.
Fine. Wait, how do you know they're a she?
Because this baker is our own Mrs. Lovett.
Hello, love.
Do I need to have the FDA come in and test those pies?
Don't be cheeky, dear. They're pure beef, hand to the Lord above.
So, how are things with,
Well, I brought up couples counseling with him like we talked about. He wasn't for it, but he's gotten better. Just the other day we were on the beach and he placed his hand on my knee and smiled all bright like. Nearly cleared up the cloudy sky, it seemed.
any episodes?
It was last Tuesday. It was my fault, though, of course. I stupidly thought to wash his razors, and he, didn't take kindly to his things being touched. Blackened me eye. I told poor Toby I was mugged on my way home, and he puffed out his chest all tough like and asked which way the bloke went. Told him not to worry.
How is Toby? Has he gotten worse?
Mr. Todd has had some influence on him. Caught him punching one of the flour bags in the basement a few days ago.
This is getting serious. You have to know that abusive behavior is learned, not bred. He is directly teaching Toby negative behavior and perpetuating a vicious cycle. What will you do when Toby comes after you? Or if they go after each other? They may start fighting each other, and one, if not both, may get seriously hurt in the process. He could easily kill Toby if he has the ability to hurt you. Wait. Has he hurt Toby already?
It was just a scratch, really, an accident. Mr. Todd would never strike him on purpose. Toby just wasn't listening and got in the way.
You have to stop making excuses for him. He has been negatively impacting you since you met. I know you keep saying that the idea for your business was yours, but either way, he went along with it and solidified that idea. He pushed you into doing all that. You didn't kill those people, but he did. Toby will suffer for this. Either becoming him or getting hurt in the process. If you don't do something, CSS will have to be notified. Toby cannot grow up in that type of environment.
No! You can't take my boy away. He's my whole life.
Then consider leaving Sweeney.
I'll try. But he gets cross if...
I know it will be difficult and extremely dangerous, but you also need to consider that Toby would fight to protect you and kill Sweeney to do it. Once he takes a life, there would be no going back from that, and it would change Toby forever for the worst.
I understand, love. I'll try. Nothing's gonna harm him. Not while I'm around.
That's what I like to hear.
I'll slip Mr. Todd something tomorrow night. Get him right tuckered while he sleeps. I'll pack a trunk and take Toby to the docks and we'll sail off to Italy. Always wanted to see the Louvre.
That's in Paris now.
Right. Well, never said I finished my schooling. But we'll find somewhere safe. Maybe we'll get a nice new shop on the beach. He'll have some other kids to play with, and it'll be so grand. It'll all work out. So, yes, love, I'll stop by in a week or two once we're both settled. Give you a discount at my new shop. Vegetarian, love. No need to make that face.
Take care now. Be safe.
You know, Mabel, I have to say, as stressful as this job is, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love getting to help these people. The ones that listen, at least. It does my heart good to see that I can actually have a hand, however small, in changing their lives for the better. Sometimes it feels like their problems are insurmountable, and sometimes even downright strange. I think we both know who I'm talking about here, but between you and me, there's nothing better than feeling like I've made a difference in their lives. Not to take too much of a leap, but I feel like I could be a present-day Freud. Scratch that. Jung.
I always liked Jung better. It's funny, but I feel like sometimes just one listening ear can really make someone feel like they're being heard. All the world's a stage, of course, as Shakespeare once said, and if we're feeling our way in the darkness without a candle, having one person to grope along in the darkness beside you makes all the difference. It truly humbles me that I can be that one person for somebody. An audience, if you will, for their troubles, where they can enact them for me here on the stage of my office, pouring their vulnerable souls out into my waiting hands. You know, not many people can say they have that kind of support. And not to go too much into it, but psychologists are like the first responders of mental health. No, but really, I digress. I honestly...
Sir, I'm sure we'd all love to hear you continue to pat yourself on the back, but the audience has to go.
Oh, right. Well, I guess I'll just save my dance number for the live show. Well, then, good work, Mabel. Same time tomorrow?
Doesn't matter to me, sir. This is a recording. It's whatever the listener decides.
Yes. The listener. The noble ears that chose to grace us with their attention. Where would we ever be without our dear, dear listeners? Why, it's the same old adage. If a radio play is broadcast in an empty forest, will it make a sound? You know, I was just saying the other day that...
I muted him. You're welcome.